Good evening. My name is Irene Vane, and I'm an instructional specialist with the Division of Consortia Choice and Application Program Services. I'm joined this evening by Jeannie Franklin, our director, Karen Danko, our supervisor, Nicola Richards-Wright, from a coordinator from the College of Career and Post-Secondary Partnerships, for this session on the proposed 6-region model for academic programs. Next slide, please. Thank you. As we get started, please let us know who is joining us by completing the short survey on the screen. We've held time at the end of the presentation for questions. Please use the Q&A feature to capture any questions you have. We will address as many questions as possible during the session and post responses to other questions on the Academic Program Analysis website. Translation is available. You can access translation by clicking the globe on the lower right corner of your device. Next slide, please. Okay, here's our agenda. During this session, we will explain the 6-region model as well as why MCPS is proposing it. We will share the updated and improved models that were shaped by feedback. We will also provide details about some of the programming to help clarify our current thinking and where we're headed. We will wrap up the session with responses to questions posed via the Q&A feature. Okay. To get you thinking about this work with us, we're going to take a little quiz just for fun to get us thinking about numbers. So on a piece of paper or on your phone, go ahead and write down the numbers 1 through 6. Then we're going to read each statement to match it up with the number. We'll look at the answers at the end, and you may hear some of the answers as we go through the presentation. So I know some of you are just listening, so I'm going to just read the slide so that we can hear everything that's on it. So for number 1, the answer choice is 27, 2 is 2027, 3 is 2000 plus, 4 is less than 10, 5 is 90, and 6 is 35. A is the number of full-time 9th grade full-time programs. B is the number of high schools MCPS will have in 2 years. C is the number of grade 8 students in a wait pool or wait list for a regional or countywide program. D is the number of Northeast and Down County Consortium grade 8 students that applied to the Poolesville Global Ecology Program in 2024. F is the percent of students attending their local high school. E is the year the proposed regional model and new boundaries for 50 secondary schools will take place. So we'll take the next 20 to 30 seconds to just jot down what you think matches up with those. And then I'm going to turn it over to Jeannie for the next few slides.
Thanks, Irene. Next slide, please. So equity and opportunity matters. So what do we mean when we say equitable access? Well, our goal is we want to stop fighting for seats. This regional model is designed to provide more expanded access, more opportunities for students. We are planning in this model for both increased access and increased interest. We know that there are highly able students in every corner of this county. We want to ensure opportunity is not the privilege of the few. One of the most critical aspects of this work is strengthening our local schools. This is the most important of the work because most students attend and graduate from their home high school. These regional programs are supplemental options for students because it is cost prohibitive to try to replicate all of these programs in each of our high schools. Equity and opportunity matters. Next slide, please. So what evidence do we have to support this work? Well, here are a few pieces of evidence that we have shared with our Board of Education, and we also want to share with you. Some examples. Each year, there are about 2,000 students on our wait list or wait pool for a regional countywide program. Annually, we have over 3,000 students that apply, but due to limited seats, we generally have this many students waiting on a wait list or a wait pool. We've also presented for some of our most sought after programs that the composition of those student bodies really are comprised of students who come from 3 to 5 high schools. When we also assess some of our longest standing programs and their central stop transportation, we see that one of our programs has 24 buses, and then one of our programs has no transportation. Currently, we have 25 high schools. And of those 25 high schools, 9 of those high schools currently don't offer a regional or countywide program. The reason why is that over the past 50 years, we've had different motives, different grants, different opportunities to offer different programs. As a result, today we have 9 high schools without programs. These students at these 9 high schools, if they find a program outside of their school that's not at their school, they have to leave their school for a program. We also see some differences in admission. Some of our students have multiple opportunities to apply to our International Baccalaureate program, where some of our students only have one. So this is some of the evidence that has informed our work thus far. Next slide, please. So what is the proposed regional model? Well, MCPS is focused on strengthening all of our high schools with pathways and different opportunities. In 2027, MCPS will have 27 high schools that will be grouped geographically into 6 regions. Those 2 new high schools are Crown and Woodward. Each region will be made up of 4 to 5 high schools, and students will have access to a parallel suite of programs in each region with central stop transportation. We're very excited about that. So let's look at the next slide and what our expectations are for all of our high schools. So as we said, 90% of our students choose to complete high school at their home school and not participate in a regional countywide program. So we need to ensure that every academic program at a high school is strong, and that's an essential part of our work. Our design team, which is a combination of school staff and community and family members, industry partners, they've identified these critical components of strong instructional programming and student experiences that should be available at all of our high schools. They recommended that all schools offer parallel advanced coursework. For example, ensuring calculus is available at every school. Now, to support this vision, we are focused on ensuring students are well prepared for advanced courses, providing a well-rounded course progression, expanding the use of distance learning to close access gaps, and offering authentic research experiences. The project team also recommends that business, finance, and entrepreneurship pathways be offered at every high school. So let's take a moment and hear a little bit from our superintendent.
Hello, MCPS families. This is your superintendent, Thomas Taylor, and I want to talk with you about some of the academic programs that we offer at the secondary level and why this is important. Every student in Montgomery County, no matter what their zip code is, deserves the same access to great options and a chance to be challenged. But right now, that's not always the case. For decades, we've added programs whenever opportunities came along, but without a great plan. That's left some students with multiple chances to apply and others with almost none. Thousands of students apply every year, but too many end up on wait lists or face long commutes that make participation nearly impossible. We're fixing that. The analysis that's on the table right now is helping us to design a regional model that expands access and reduces travel and adds additional seats to great programmatic opportunities, all while keeping rigor, quality and consistency among our county's top priorities. And timing matters. With boundary studies underway for those new high schools, some families may see changes in their home schools. Under our current system, that can mean changes to program access and, in many cases, even greater inequalities and inequities. A regional approach changes that. It's our promise to families that no matter where you live or what your home school is, your child will have access to the same high-quality programs across the county. And let me be clear, this is not about taking anything away from anyone. This is about opening more doors closer to home so that every student has even more great options. And we can do this and do it well. We have great teachers, and we'll put the resources in place to make it happen.
At the heart of this effort is equity. Right now, highly specialized and interest-based program opportunities are available to only a small number of students, with limited supports to help more students access them. Access to opportunity should not depend on luck or geography. Expanding these opportunities across every region of the county is about increasing equity, ensuring more students in more places can benefit. We know there are concerns about ensuring consistency, supporting all students, and preventing inequities from deepening. That's why equity will guide how we design, locate, and evaluate these programs. The plan calls for 6 regional program clusters and about 5 or 6 core themes, like STEM, arts, leadership and service, humanities, and IB, with pathways that students can join based on their interests. Some will be selective, others open by lottery, and all will include flexibility, so students can enter or switch later in high school. We know that some in our community may feel trepidation about what these changes mean for our schools and classrooms. That's understandable. But here's what matters most. We have great teachers in MCPS, and this work is about giving them the support they need to help every student succeed. Through professional development opportunities, cross-functional teams, and strong school leadership, we're building a comprehensive plan that ensures consistency and quality and rigor across regions. With the right resources in place, our educators and our schools will be equipped to make this vision a reality. We've also heard concerns about engagement and transparency. That's why this process includes public information sessions, surveys, direct information in newsletters, and on our website, and direct input from students, families, principals, and teachers. The rollout won't happen until 2027, and we are committed to using this time to listen and adjust.
At the end of the day, this is about removing barriers and ensuring opportunity isn't based on zip code or luck. It's about reducing scarcity, opening doors even wider, and unleashing the potential of every student. That's the commitment, and it's the right thing to do.
Secondary academic programs analysis, ensuring all students are MCPS future ready.
And I'd like to turn it over to Karen, who'll talk to you about the regional programs. And this is our updated version based on feedback from our principals and our community feedback.
Good evening, everyone. Glad that you are able to join us. These next few slides that I'll be presenting will be an updated version of the 6 regions that we have proposed to the Board of Education. Let's continue. These are our regional program themes that all students should have access to. They are color-coded by theme, and I will read those aloud to everybody. These themes were developed in collaboration with our design team, who used information from over 10,000 individuals' feedback when they submitted information during a survey. These included students, staff, parents, and community members. The first of the 5 regions is in green. It is medical science and healthcare. The focus of this theme is preparing students for careers in medical and health services. The second theme is science, technology, engineering, and math. This pathway and/or themes will ignite curiosity while students solve real-world problems through the innovation and experimentation. This theme will include well-known and high-demand science, math, computer science criteria-based programs that are currently offered only at Montgomery-Blair High School as well as Poolesville High School. The next program theme that will be established is in purple. It will be the International Baccalaureate Humanities and Language theme. The orange theme is Leadership Public Service. And this theme will develop skills for our students to lead, teach, serve their community. Possible pathways will include leadership, education, and law and criminal justice. The last of our 5 themes is the Visual and Performing Arts, Design, and Communication Programs theme. And within these pathways, students will channel creativity into performance, dance, design, and innovation while preparing for college and the arts careers. These themes may be divided among the schools when we present the 6 regions to you and build on existing school assets and better serve our students. For example, the IB and Humanities program at each of our different schools in the regions and/or music related to performing arts at one of the schools and dance at the other. It's important to know that all schools will retain their strong local programs. While we are expanding the regional options, we are not removing opportunities at the local high school. On this screen, you will see the map of the county. And these are the proposed regions based on an aerial view. Down in the bottom right-hand corner is Region 1, and moving your way north to the dark green would be Region 6. So there are 6 proposed regions. And this model is based on current MCPS boundaries and does not reflect the proposed boundary options. Now, how were program themes matched to schools? A few things you need to know before we review the specific themes per the high schools within these regions. And as noted recently, there are 9 high schools of the current 25 that do not offer a regional countywide program. And that is why it's noted that we only send students out to these programs. And the intentionality is to provide closer access for our students to have access and opportunities near home. In the new regional model, each high school will offer a criteria-based program with the hopes of also offering an interest-based program. Another item that you need to be aware of is that we want to offer middle college in each of the 6 regions. Middle college at Montgomery College is an opportunity currently only available at Northwood and Northwest, where students are able to access and obtain an associate's degree while earning a high school diploma. So we definitely looked at the facilities that are made available at our schools, existing regional and countywide programs, existing career and technical programs, in parentheses, CTE, and less commonly taught languages. We want to make sure that we're able to elevate the awesome programs that are currently available at each of our schools to match these 5 themes to what is already existing. So let's take a look at each of these themes in each of the regions. In Region 1, there's Bethesda Chevy Chase, Montgomery Blair, Walt Whitman, Albert Einstein, and Northwood. In the middle column, you're going to see the regional program strands, and they are color-coded. And then the last column is identifying the local pathways, which is not an exhaustive list. And we want you to know that once we post this slide deck on the program analysis website, you'll be able to locate a particular school by clicking on the link, and you will be able to find that school looking at the resources that are made available at those schools. So at Bethesda Chevy Chase, they will become the regional IB program. And you'll note that there is a parenthesis with a C, close parenthesis. That's a criteria-based program. Students will have to have prerequisites to apply and then be considered for a seat in the program based on meeting set criteria. We have these throughout each of the regions and each of the high schools. And as mentioned, each school will host a criteria and interest-based as closely aligned as possible what could be available at the schools. Montgomery Blair currently host the Science, Math, Computer Science program, criteria-based, and then technology will also be infused, which would be interest-based, and the Communications Arts program, also a criteria-based program. Walt Whitman will offer the Leadership for Social Justice and the Humanities and Language programs. Einstein will be hosting a medical science and healthcare pathways. In addition, capitalizing on their visual arts center that they currently offer, design performing arts within the music vein of that strand. And Northwood, within this pathway, within this region, excuse me, they are going to be hosting the performing arts pathways of dance theater and technical theater, offering a strand for public service. And this school will also continue to offer the Middle College, Montgomery College at Middle College, MC squared. And again, we're capitalizing on what can be available at each of the schools and providing those assets and aligning them to the region themes. I want you to know that for the technology, it is a placeholder for specific pathways within each of those sites. It could be engineering, it could be programming, machine learning, cybersecurity. So I just wanted to mention that as we continue to go through. In Region 2, it's made up of 4 high schools: Blake High School, Paint Branch High School, Springbrook High School, and Sherwood High School. 3 of the 4 are part of the Northeast Consortium, and we're going to capitalize on those whole school program signatures that they have. So Blake will be offering the visual arts, performing arts, design, and communication, while also being a site for the MC squared Middle College program. Paint Branch will offer the medical science and healthcare, and then add to their leadership and public service. Noting on the far side of the local programming that could be available, they already have PLTW, Project Lead the Way Engineering, and they offer Navy ROTC. Springbrook will host both the science, math, technology, and computer science programs, in addition to being the regional site for the International Baccalaureate program. And that complements their other programs to which they currently offer. Sherwood will be hosting the humanities and the language programs, adding to the assets that they currently offer their local students. In Region 3, the 4 high schools are noted as Woodward, Kennedy, Walter Johnson, and Wheaton. Woodward is going to be opening up in 2027, and at present time, Northwood High School is being housed there while their building is being rebuilt. It is built with an arts model in mind, so they will be the school site to host the visual arts, performing arts, design, and communication pathway themes, and they will also be the site for the MC squared programming. John F. Kennedy will offer the medical science and healthcare program. In addition, they are the regional IB program site, and they will continue to do so, and complements what they currently offer on health professions, IB, as well as broadcast journalism. Walter Johnson will be hosting the Humanities and Language program, as well as leadership and public service. And finally, in this region, Wheaton High School is a hub with the Thomas Edison High School of Technology, with the WE partnership programs, capitalizing on career technical programming. In addition, they're going to be hosting the site of the science, technology, math programming, including engineering and biomedical science. These are 2 programs that they already have well established, and we will continue to offer them. It complements what they already offer, the current academy students, and will continue on. In Region 4, this region will include Richard Montgomery, Rockville, Churchill, and Wootton. And again, capitalizing on the assets that are already established at the school, Richard Montgomery, right now is known as the Countywide IB, will be the host for this regional IB site. In addition, they will be hosting the performing arts of dance, theater, and technical theater. Rockville also offers IB, and that will be at their local program, but they're going to be capitalizing on the medical science and healthcare, as well as leadership and public service, and they too will be the host site for the MC squared program. Churchill will be offering a wide variety of languages and the humanities program, the visual arts, design, and communication, complementing what they currently offer their students. And last in this region 4 would be Wooten. They will be the site for the science, math, computer science, and technology theme, in addition to the performing arts and music. Moving on to region 5, these have 5 high schools: Crown, Magruder, Gaithersburg, Watkins Mill, and Quince Orchard. Now, Crown High School is set to open in 2027, and we have established the programs based on what the other 4 schools have to offer and the location of where Crown is noted. However, in the most recent October Board of Ed meeting, it was proposed that Crown may become a host site as a holding school while our other high schools are remodeled. That being said, nothing has been determined, and we're moving forward as proposed that you see on the screen. So Crown will be the host site for the medical science and healthcare program, in addition, adding to the performance arts theme. Magruder will host engineering, and they already host the aviation program, the only one in the county. However, this would be only available to the students within this region. In addition, they'll capitalize on their leadership and public service programs that they already have in place. Gaithersburg hosts right now the PLTW Bioscience program, and they're going to capitalize on the science, technology, and math programs, including technology, and add visual art, design, and communication. Watkins Mill will be the host site for the regional IB program, as they currently are, and they too will become the host site for the MC² program. Remembering, students are going to be able to access their high school diploma and potentially complete an associate's degree. And add that onto an IB program, what a wealth of knowledge. QO, or Quince Orchard, will be hosting the humanities and language programs, in addition, offering the performing arts pathways of music, theater, and technical theater. And again, capitalizing on what their local school has to offer already. And the final region would be Region 6, including Seneca Valley, Clarksburg, Damascus, Poolesville, and Northwest. Like Wheaton, Seneca Valley is a host site to a career hub in the construction fields. They'll continue to do that, and they too offer IB. This will become the regional site for this region. In addition to offering IB, they will be offering the performing arts, dance, theater, and technical theater pathway. It complements what they already have with the middle years program, the IBCP programs, and the construction electricity program. Clarksburg offers P-Tech currently, and they're going to capitalize on that strand by offering medical science and healthcare. Damascus, present state, will be offering the pathways in music and communication, leadership, and public service. Poolesville is the site at current time that hosts the 3 programs at their school, and they're going to continue to do so. Things are going well and will continue it, but these 5 high schools would have access to Poolesville. Science, technology, math, computer science pathway, the humanities, and the leadership side would be a part of global ecology. And finally, to round out Region 6 is Northwest High School. They will be the host site of the MC² program. They already offer it. They'll add technology and engineering, as the engineering is part of the MC² pathway that they have. In addition, they'll capitalize on the visual arts as well as design. Now, that was a lot to take in very quickly, but we want you to understand what our great region programs will have. As shown on the screen, each of these schools will be offering in-depth coursework that's aligned to the theme and the student interest. It will have clear, relevant connections between the program content, career interests, and, of course, continuing on in further education. Now, we know that students entering 9th grade may not know exactly what they want to do, but this gives you and the student an opportunity to explore. So these experiences are going to begin in grade 9, and then we will continue to offer, as we grow the programs, on and off ramps. So if they change their mind, they'll have an opportunity to return to their home school, or they may pursue an interest at another location. Again, all of these opportunities are based on space available and the grade level the student is in. Another capital reason that we would love to continue this is expanding opportunities so that hands-on learning is an option. So work-based learning, participating in extracurricular activities, and engaging with our professionals within this rich county in which we live. We want to make sure that students are making connections, real life connections. In addition, we know that students can continue in these programs, and many of them are tied to career technical pathways, and they could receive industry certification or the third-party verification on performance. Most importantly, our students will become well-rounded. They could continue on to post-secondary education. They could become viable citizens and have a working place in our area, and or they could be doing both as they continue on and exploring and finding out what is their passion going forward. At this time, I'm going to turn it back over to Jeannie to continue on with our presentation.
So you just had an opportunity to listen to all of the updates for our regional programs at every high school. Yes, every high school will have a regional program, including the 9 schools that did not have one, plus our 2 new high schools going forward. So let's take a look at what this might look like for a student. Next slide, please. So as stated, Region 4 includes 4 high schools: Richard Montgomery, Rockville, Churchill, and Wooten. An 8th grade student in this region has many pathways to success. So let's talk about Anita. Anita is a rising 9th grade student whose home school is Churchill. In Region 4, she has an abundance of choices, some at her home school and others within a reasonable distance. At Churchill, Anita has access to meaningful learning experiences, including dual enrollment, broadcast media, and computer science. She also has access to the school's local technology, engineering, and math signature program. Anita wants to be a doctor. She considers the signature program at her home school and the science, math, and computer science program at Wooten. She would like to pursue science classes with a medical focus. She ultimately decides to apply to the medical science regional program at Rockville High School because she likes that it's both college and career prep focused. She has the opportunity to take accelerated science courses and earn an industry recognized credential. In a moment, we'll share additional details about the program Anita has selected. Next slide, please. So families, students, staff, school leaders, and board members have been asking for more details about the program pathways at each school. Staff in the Division of Teaching and Learning have been working with school-based staff to provide more information and develop comprehensive plans for each of the pathways. Program teams visited schools to view the facility, work with the school staff in the existing program, and then also examine the completion rates at each of the different programs. The plans for each of the program themes and pathways consist of 8 components. You will see the first 3 listed: the vision statement, pathway goals, and then criteria and interest-based admission information. And criteria-based means that a student will have a variety of academic measures that will be reviewed in order to be considered for a program. So it could be academic measures, it could be a portfolio, and it could be an audition. Interest-based means the student just needs to be eligible for the pathway by grade level, be a Montgomery County student, and if there are more requests than seats available, we'll run a lottery. Next slide, please. The pathway framework components of 4 through 8, variety of them. We have our course sequence. We have our co-curricular and extracurricular opportunities. We have evaluation metrics, cost projections, and implementation plans. All of these pieces are really important when it comes to a program. Programs are different than course sequences. Programs are opportunities for students to semi-immerse themselves in a content area. So they might do field experiences, competitions, showcases, exhibits. They might be part of national conferences or organizations. We might even have intra-regional competitions and showcases. The idea is that students go beyond the course sequence and learn more about the content. So let's take a closer look at Anita's choice. I'd like to pass it to Nicola, who will talk with you a little bit about the medical science and healthcare pathway.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. My name is Nicola Richards-Wright, and I'm a coordinator for Career and Post-Secondary Partnerships. Welcome. So what I'll be sharing with you, I'll be looking at the Medical Science and Healthcare program, and we're looking at it for a specific school through the lens of Rockville High School. So we're going to start off with the vision. So the vision is to prepare students for healthcare careers. We're going to be using curriculum that is equity-driven and provides rigorous learning. Students will get hands-on, real-world experiences, which ultimately will build their cultural competency and positively impact the community. Next slide, please. The program goals are structured around three main themes. The program is designed to help students build a strong foundation in science and healthcare. Students will really be immersed in their learning. So they'll be doing simulations, they'll be in labs, they'll be doing internships and clinicals. Students will also have the opportunity to earn industry certifications, to network with professionals in the field, and also to liaise or talk with our college professors. It's really about giving students real options after high school, whether it's going to college, pursuing a career, or both, while helping them make a real difference in their community. Next slide, please. Developed, we have 2 sample pathways looking specifically at the specific school, which in this case, we're looking at Rockville High School. The first pathway we want to look at is the biomedical science pathway, which is a criteria-based pathway. And as you look, you'll see grades 6 through 8. Students at that stage were saying they'll be doing career advising and really career exploration. And so the intent is that students will be learning more about themselves. What are their interests? What are their strengths? What are their values? And we're hoping that by that exploration and that self-awareness, it might help the students to determine, okay, which of these pathways would I like to pursue? With that said, if we look at the very first row for this specific pathway, we'll realize that the students are cohorted for their science courses in grades 9 and 10. Now, for grades 11 and 12, because there is an IB program at this specific school, the students' higher level science courses will be IB courses. Additionally, we recommend that students do an engineering course in their grade 9 year. Again, the school does have a Project Lead the Way engineering program. This engineering course, we believe, will provide students with a strong foundation in science and really set them up ready for success. As you look in grade 10, students will do their first biomedical course, Biomedical 1, grade 11, Biomedical 2, and in grade 12, the students will have options. So they could do their Biomedical 3 course, participate in work-based learning, or pursue dual enrollment. Additionally, because this is an IB school, we want to give the students the opportunity to earn the career program certificate. And so if you look in grades 11 and 12, students will be able to take the IB personal and professional skills classes. Can we go to the next slide, please? The next pathway is for clinical healthcare. And this pathway is interest-based. As you will see in grade 9, students will be doing biology, which is integrated with foundations of medicine and structure. This, we believe, will provide students with the foundational skills and knowledge that they need for success in the certified clinical medicine pathway program. So as you look, students in grade 10 will be doing the certified clinical medical assistant course 1. Grade 11, certified clinical medical assistant 2. In grade 12, students have options. So they could do certified clinical medical assistant 3, or participate in work-based learning, or do a dual enrollment course. This pathway gives students a lot of flexibility, and so students can determine what level it is that they want to take their courses at. So they could do their English, math, and science courses, whether they want to do honors, IB, AP, on level, it's totally up to them. What we do know is that both of these pathways are designed to support the success of all our students, including those who are receiving special education services and or emergent multi-language learners. Thank you. Next slide, please. There are several opportunities for students who are in this pathway. They can earn industry-related credentials, such as the biotechnician assistant credentialing for those in the biomed program. They can earn the CCMA, the Certified Clinical Medical Assistant certification for those in the healthcare program. Students will be able to participate in internships, earn college credits, earn the IB Career Program certificate, connect with healthcare professionals, and participate in competitions in student organizations. We do know that student participation in student organizations and competitions is what really helped to build community, is what really helped the students to feel like they are part of a program. We also know that participation in these organizations help to build students' leadership skills and other professional skills. Next slide, please. To understand how well our program are serving students, we have built a set of metrics that will help us to track demand, quality, student outcomes, and overall impact. These metrics that we'll be sharing will be measured annually, and they'll be measured at different intervals. So some will be in the first year, some will be in year 4, year 2, year 3, etc. But I'll quickly go through a few of these metrics. So we want to look at enrollment and retention. And that is important because we want to know if students are interested in the program and if they are staying, if they're being engaged, and if they're staying. We want to know, for example, how many students are doing those industry recognized credentials. That's important. Are they, because we want to know, are they mastering the standards? Is our curriculum aligned with industry standards and workforce relevant skills? We look at IB scores. Also, we will be looking at student and parent exit surveys. And this is important because this is important feedback as we be looking at satisfaction. Satisfaction as it relates to the quality of instruction, the curriculum, the support and the experiences that students and families have received. And this will help to inform the program as we continue to build and make improve on the program each year. Thank you. I'll hand over to Irene.
Hi again. I will be going through the last few slides before we head into our Q&A at the end. So if we could go to the next slide, please. Okay, here is a visual to help you follow along with what will be happening as we implement the proposed regional model. So on the left, you'll find the class of students, and you'll follow along the timeline using the school years that you see on the top of this table. So let's start with our current grade 8 students. You'll see they're the class of 2030. This class will remain in the current process and graduate from high school in 2030. Okay, let's look at the current grade 7 students, the class of 2031. This class will be the first to be impacted by the new regional model plan in 2027. So why? Because MCPS admission process is always the year before the program starts. So families of grade 8 students in the 2026-27 school year will receive information about their local high school and regional programs that are available to them. So when they enter high school in the 2027-28 school year, they will be the first group of students in the new model, and that's indicated by the orange shade. And you will see in the same year, there are grades 10, 11, and 12 students who are finishing up their high school plan in the current model. The chart shows that beginning in 2027, there are 3 years of transition where the current model is phased out and the new model is phased in. So to honor our current high school students, even with the boundary change, if a student was assigned to a consortium high school, they can remain in their assigned high school to graduate. And I know that's a question that's come up a few times in the Q&A. So just want to be clear on that. So we can go forward to the next slide. So we're going to take a look at some frequently asked questions. So I'm just going to read through these, and these might answer some questions that you did put in the Q&A. So will local high schools continue to offer local pathways if they implement a regional model? These pathways may continue if they reflect student interest and impact by way of enrollment, completion, and student outcomes. Does my student have to apply to a regional program? No, regional programs are optional pathways for students who may be interested in a pathway unavailable at their home school. So that's also a question I know that's come up in the Q&A. So you certainly can go to your home school if you want. You don't have to apply to a regional program, but that is available for you if you would like. Is rising grade 9 the only entry point to the regional programs? So there's going to be additional on-ramps to enter the regional, to enter the programs beyond grade 9. Will aviation at Magruder High School be available as a regional program? Yes, the aviation program may continue as an interest-based regional program. Will countywide programs remain? Countywide programs will become regional. Okay, so we're going to move on to, so these are frequently asked questions specific to DCC and NEC. Will my student go through the DCC-NEC choice process? So starting with those currently in grade 7, students will be assigned to their home high school. However, they'll have the opportunity to apply to one of the regional programs within the region. What happens to existing local signature and academy programs? Several local academy programs have been anchored to the schools within the DCC. The school will determine if the current program will continue within their scheduling model. Is the regional program model a choice process like the Down County or Northeast Consortium? No, the regional model is not a choice process. Students will be expected to attend their home high school, and they have the option of applying to the regional programs. Can students apply to a regional program after starting high school? So there's going to be additional on-ramps to enter the program beyond grade 9. Some factors to consider are space available at the school and within the program. Will DCC and NEC discontinue? Yes. The DCC and NEC will evolve into the regional model, and elements of its success will be reflected in the regional, be reflected in the model going forward. Okay, so we're going to just take a look at this timeline here. So what's to come between now and late November? So there's continued community engagement, continued internal engagement, refinement and finalization of programs for each region, pathway, and each school. Finalize program analysis, implementation plan, including all needed resources, professional development needs, and the budget, and plan for all local high schools, while providing the best thinking today around our programs. We will have final feedback and the final draft next month. Okay, so here, the next slide here. So these are the answers to the little quiz we did in the beginning. For the sake of time, I'm not going to read all the answers. This will be posted on the program analysis website, so you're welcome to go back and take a look at them. But we are almost to the end, and I do want to have a little bit of time for our Q&A, so we can get to that. So next slide, please. We are going to do the questions next. We will have an updated frequently asked questions on the academic program's website with questions that we did not get to. And next we have resources. So this is a QR code to the academic program analysis website, as well as the DCC information and NEC. And I just want to let everyone know that they're actually next one. Thank you. Next slide. We'll be hosting regional in-person meetings starting October 30th through November 21st. And our communication team will send out the dates and locations for each regional meeting in the upcoming days.
Thank you, team. So we really appreciate all of you for hanging out with us and learning a little bit more about the access we want to provide with the regional program model. I'm going to answer a few questions live. We answered quite a few questions in the chat, in the Q&A, and hopefully that was helpful. We're unable to get to all of them, but what we will do is collect the themed ones, and we'll continue to add them to our frequently asked questions that's on our program analysis website. So I have a few questions I'd like to answer live. One question is, if my child is currently in 7th grade, when should we apply for the program? That's a great question. So the regional model is going to impact our first group of 7th graders. So if you're currently a student in 7th grade, you will be the first group that will receive information about the regional programs, should the Board of Education vote in favor to use this model. And therefore, don't worry. While you're in 8th grade, we will send you some information to start with this, to start thinking about the different programs in your region. Another question that came up, I answered a question about the number of seats. And I said that in this model, it's anticipated that around 100 program seats will be available to rising grade 9 students. So the question is, so only 400 to 500 students per region will get into programs? No. That is per school. So if we have 27 high schools with 100 seats each, roughly, some are more. That means that we'll have thousands of students having access to programs. So that was just an example for one school. So there's a question about seats and are we reserving seats for local students? So in our current model with our 35 full-time programs for students going into high school, we do have some models where we do have local seats. An example, we have some interest-based programs such as middle college at both Northwood and Northwest, where students can request to participate. And if you're assigned to that school, Northwood or Northwest, you get to participate, permitting that you meet certain requirements. And if you are an out-of-area student, we have currently in our model 30 out-of-area seats available for students to become full-time students at the school and join middle college. So that's one model, unlimited seats for local students. Another one of our models are criteria-based programs, such as the Richard Montgomery IB program. We have 100 out-of-area seats for grade 9 students, and then we also have 25 local students, local seats for students who are also qualified. So that's 125 seats total. So we're looking at these different models, and we want to continue to build one school community where we don't want local students to be squeezed out of a program at their local school. So we are looking at models to ensure that local students have seats also at the school. And we'll take one more question. Let's try to do a couple more. So there's a question. Oh, go right ahead.
I'm sorry, Janie. So there were some questions around understanding the difference from the medical science,
Yes.
Healthcare. So what is the difference between healthcare and medical science? And I think they're probably thinking about it through what we're offering. And so when we speak about healthcare, we're talking about our allied health courses, which is like our certified clinical medical assistant course. And when we speak about medical, we're talking about our biomed courses or biotechnology courses. So that's the essence of what we speak about when we're talking about the medical science courses or the healthcare courses. Go ahead, please, Janie.
Thank you. So we're at time. We really appreciate you joining us again. I want to thank all of our Spanish speaking presenters and our ASL team members for translating. And I also want to thank all of our presenters and our communications team. Once again, if you could go ahead and scan the QR code and answer just a few brief questions to help us, we'd really be appreciative of that. In addition, we have 6 in-person meetings that are coming up. Beginning with this Thursday, we'll be at John F. Kennedy. We are going to have community engagement opportunities for families to provide feedback and get some questions answered as best as we can. We appreciate your time and your energy, and we'll see you soon.